Okay, I see that lately people have been coming here with a lot of runaway ideations. Okay, the latest being Bank of America just pulled out of this child trafficking ring. Well, no, Bank of America did not pull out of the child trafficking ring. So the question I have is, how do people get wrapped up in these dramas? We start out with one thing. It's like the game telephone. You start out with one thing. By the time it gets to the end, it's a whole totally different thing than what was started. You take a half-truth and then you blend it with something else you heard, and then you mix up the two, and all of a sudden you've got, this dark thing that has nothing to do with really what's going on. But let's see what the cards have to say on this. How do people get caught up in these? Okay. What is going on with people? Come up with these really blown out of proportion things. What's happening with that? How does this come together? How do people keep coming up with these things? Okay, underneath of it all, we have, they hear something and they're holding tight to it. It's a hanging ghost, okay? Hanging ghost, it keeps them hung up. It's a ghost, it's something that's not viable, it's not here, it's, yeah. And then the challenge is this regret, so it's having to do with this emotional drama that one is clinging to, and it's something passes, and then all of a sudden you think you see something, and you know, oh my God, there's ghosts, there's this, there's that, okay, that you get hung up in the center of it all. Your world is consisting of these emotions, and this is strong emotion, okay, that you've got going in your world. We've got the defensive but daring Okay, wanting to fight this and fight that, and the challenge is a lot of imagination that's going on. Okay, yes, this is big emotional issues, and it's affecting the whole world. It's affecting your world, and you're going to be defensive, and you think you're going to fight this fight. Okay, but there's a lot of imagination that's in the midst of it. Okay. Going into it. Okay, again, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of things hanging over your head, a lot of things that you're taking with an action and wanting to take action with. You know, you're wanting to see the challenge is to have a victory somewhere. So again, you're wanting to take action against all these imaginations you've got going. Okay, you want a victory. You're looking for something to fight, some way to take some action. Okay, for all of this dreams and nightmares and things that you have going on. Foundation of it. Okay. Foundation is if it, again, painful, imagining the worst. Okay. You keep bringing these actions in together, juggling these things, and the challenge is it's a wealth of stuff coming through the internet, through there, that you're hearing access of, and you're hearing bits and pieces of it. A wealth of information out there, bits and pieces that you got flying in the air, actions that you're trying to juggle. And again, imagining the worst above it. Trying to defend. Okay, defending what you've gotten that you don't want to have, the Four of Cups. So you're defending something, and you're trying to, again, make a preparation. The challenge is preparing, but you've just gone off hog wild with it, defending the stuff that you don't want to hear, these things that are coming in your plate from too much information on the net, which you skew and get a little bit here and a little bit there, and then try to manufacture it together. You're sitting there sleepless nights, okay, wanting to fight this, you know. Let's see, going forward, what else do we have? Hey, seeing the wrongs being done, you know, again, you hear of dirty money, you hear of bad things going on with the churches, then you become the heavenly master. You want to, again, take the view of, what do I say it, like the minister's view, or, you know, again, you want to try to right the wrongs, okay. You want to see what's crossing it is the challenges to find well-being in the midst of it. But you got yourself worked up into this. All you're seeing is all the negative things that are going on, okay? Rather than looking at some positive things and finding some well-being in the midst of the journey. You got yourselves wound up. Okay. Hopes and fears. Hopes and fears. Okay. The fear is somebody is too strong taking action, that there's a big conspiracy together, and the challenges for their success. They're thinking they might become successful. The fear, again, is that there's somebody there, they're too powerful, and that they're looking at the challenges, success to get rid of them. The hope is somebody will come forward that's strong, okay, that's got people that will work with them to have success. So you could see this either in a positive light or a negative light. And all the hopes and fears, they can go back to back, the double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. In every light, you can find a shadow. That's the yin-yang, okay, the yin-yang, you know, the one that goes like this. In the light one, there's a dark spot. In the dark one, there's a light. In every darkness, you can see the light. In every light, you can find a shadow. Now, which one are you going towards? What are you going to feed? What are you going to have continue to multiply? The negative or the positive? Okay. So what is the emotion surrounding this? Okay. Emotion is wanting to have strength, but you're doing a lot of juggling and a lot of crazy stuff at the moment with it. Okay? Doing a lot of juggling, and when you're doing a lot of juggling, you're having loss with it. Okay? And the challenge is to find dominion, to find which way to go. Okay, this is which direction do I go? What path do I take? Do I take the path of the light or do I take the path of the dark? Which path are you going to see? Okay. What are you going to strengthen? The foolishness or the strong? What are you going to strengthen? What's going to dominate? Okay. And last but not least, is there something else to be looked at, to be known? Last thing to know. Let's see, in this case, it's not what's being stolen. In this case, I see this as in the question that I'm asking, what is viable to take away and what is best left behind? Okay? When you hear all these stories and all these little bits and pieces of things, again, what is viable to put together and what is best left behind? You need to have some temperance. Okay? And of course, the challenge is to find justice. We want to find justice. Okay? So you need to take these things with temperance, a little grain of salt, and see what the takeaway is. Look a little deeper before you grab to these things and keep manufacturing more and more and try to link them up until you've got some great big huge conspiracy of darkness and doom and gloom, and there's nothing like that there. Now, let me break down the bank situation. I looked it up. What the bank said was they're no longer going to be participating in funding private prisons and the detention camps. That has nothing to do with pulling out of trafficking children. They were involved in trafficking children. No, no. They are no longer going to help to fund private prisons. What does trafficking children have to do with private prisons? Okay, they're no longer going to fund private prison and detention centers. Okay, because of the abuses and the dramas and the things that are happening. Okay, they said we cannot be involved with these things, you know. So again, taken a little bit, and that's why they say a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Because you take it half-truth and you run with it and make it into something that it's not. Okay, and get yourself all wound up when you need to have a little more temperance and level-headedness and look at things first before going off on a tangent and trying to link all these little pieces together and try to make some sort of a jigsaw puzzle out of it, okay, where the pieces are just not fitting, okay? So I'm going to leave this here. Have a great evening, people. Please take some time to chill. Go out, go take a hot tub or go for a swim or a hot bath, or just go see a comedy, a movie. You know, again, getting yourself wound up and sick is not going to help anything. You need to be well so that when we can move and do what we can do. Be ready to do what you can do, okay? But again, taking these bits and pieces and trying to put them together because you heard one thing and now you're going to run with it and you know, really get yourself in a knot for something that's not happening is not going to serve anybody, okay, yourself included. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. Hopefully somebody hears something and we go forward. Have a great evening. This is not to say things do not need to be done. Things need to be done for God's sake. We cannot have children pulled away from their parents, you know, put in these places endlessly and not being taken care of, okay? So I'm going to leave this here. Aho.